Hey.
Lines in the building.
Here we go again. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, I'm motivated every day. We get into it. Yeah, say
You
it,
have
listen.
to know the difference between pride and ego. We go through this all the time, right? And pride is something that's always trying to be taken away from black people especially, but people in general.
Yes.
Because pride empowers you to be great. Pride, by definition, is taking value in the things that you actually accomplished and the value of the things that people around you actually accomplish. Pride is a great thing.
Right.
But when you overdo it and let that pride run amok and you forget to be modest with people, then it becomes ego.
Right.
When you get into the ego realm, which happens with a lot of fucking rappers. Like, listen, guys,
You're great.
all of you,
Accomplished.
you're not greater than anyone. You're all great. If you're doing it, you're great. I don't give a fuck if you're a Dr. Seuss rapper. I don't give a fuck if you're a rapidy rap rapper. If you're dreaming and you're taking your time out of your life to do something that you have a passion for, you're already great at it. Other people's opinions and shit is subjective because there's going to be somebody that likes your shit and there's going to be somebody that doesn't. It's very few things in life that are just complete trash. There are some complete trash. So that percentage, hey, you guys, sorry, but
I want to point out something though within that is because guess what? In order for someone to feel a way about your music, they have to at least listen to it. And
Exactly.
the struggle with most independent artists is they don't know how to get people to listen.
yes.
So
It's very difficult
good
to
or
get people
bad.
to listen, right?
Yeah.
Well, I put up a post the other day and I said this. If you're an artist, right, do not, it's a trap. Do not share those memes talking about people not supporting you. Do not fucking make a big deal about the people not supporting you because those same people are going to read the same thing and keep fucking scrolling like they've been doing.
Right.
Your best thing to do
Just keep.
is to, keep grinding.
Right.
But always shout out the people who did support you.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if it was at one show and there's one person that you got a friend request with.
Right.
Tomorrow you tag that person and say, yo, thank you, bro. I appreciate that conversation that we had after the show, Because people see that and that can become contagious.
Right.
Right.
But if you match the energy of not getting the love that you want with no
Right.
love, you're not, then, you're just making the pit deeper. So you got to have some Jedi mind tricks to this shit when you're dealing with the industry and you're dealing with the game and you're dealing with fans because fans are fickle. Fans are very fucking fickle, but so are human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like you're fickle, we're fickle. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is. Moods can change, shit can change. The whole key to this is being able to balance those moods, being able to play it safe enough, but be edgy enough to walk the line. It's a tightrope. The artistry is literally a tightrope between, especially being black artists or disenfranchised or poor artists. Period. Just being an artist. Period. Walking that line of artistry versus the world. Artistry versus opinions, brand versus opinions. And literally, you got to get to the point where that part where it's the people that are negative in that space don't fucking matter.
Right.
If you address them, you're only giving them more clout. This is how we created somebody like DJ Academics. Fuck you. This is how we created somebody like that. We created enough. You have to understand something. Being great is the opposite of being fucking normal. So once you become great, you're going to have more haters than not sometimes. And it's not you. It's that people aren't doing what they want to do with their lives. And also, you have to understand something else. When you have a dream, more often than not, the people around you didn't see or meet their dreams. So when you're trying to get inspiration from older fucks, you have to understand, did you do anything with your life? Because obviously, just when somebody's giving you advice like you shouldn't do that, no, motherfucker, you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Because you're bagging groceries still.
Right.
Job's a job. Cool, whatever. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people that's like marginalizing myself. Like when people say a job's a job, no, it ain't. I don't want to dig shit out the sewer.
Right.
I'm not loving that job. I don't give a fuck how much it's paying me. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm trying to get to a certain place. I have goals. I have a direct vision on what I want to do. I don't have to marginalize myself or stop myself from being great because other people around me accepted what they believe is their fate.
Right.
Your fate's not determined until you're in a box. So I don't give a shit. If you're 75 right now and you want to come out and be a Grand Zaddy rapper, you coming out with the Grand Zaddy mixtape, Grand Zaddy Volume 1. Do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just fucking never know. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why I like to like now that I'm like young, I'm this young. Like I want to just go hard, do it while I can, and hopefully there'll be a great outcome.
Well, that's why I always be at you guys, the youngins, and I know I'm a pain in the ass. Just be on y'all post because I'm annoying. I'll just jump on y'all post and be like, "Fuck that, y'all can do it." Da 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 da. Because your elders suck.
Yeah. The game wasn't handed down.
Like y'all elders suck. I swear to God. And my elders suck too. I just refuse to be them assholes. You know, I stay relevant and I stay within the right circles because I embrace the youth. By all means, like I have no issues or qualms about embracing the youth and your ideas. I might not believe in everything that you guys represent, but my parents and my people in my time didn't either.
Right.
So it's not my job to dictate what your fun's going to be in your generation, but it is my job to dictate to you guys what I think is safe. You know what I mean? Because we know danger. We know imminent danger. I don't know what's fun to you, but I know what shit can turn into.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm always trying to inspire you guys to no matter what, you have to be a self-motivator. It's never going to be external. If you're always seeking the things that you want in your life to be, especially like I talk to Darnell all the time about this. I talk to older people about this. You have to find a way to seek what you're looking for in your life from within yourself. Because your dreams, your ideas, your everything, your talents are all coming from within. So why would you be looking outside for something to make you happy?
And that you give up control. You give
Absolutely.
You give up the idea that you have any ability to control what comes out of you and what ends up coming around you.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I mean? That's what you got to pay attention to is where you're getting your energy from. If someone else makes you happy, that's a problem.
Right.
Like you should be able to make yourself happy.
Be happy
and that person should
contribute
enhance
to
it.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I mean?
Happiness,
Enhance it, contribute to it.
A perfect example of this, right, is a 20-year-old, probably older than that, beef that's still been going on forever. And you kind of hit me to it when you came in today and we was talking about it. Is like the Ja Rule and 50 beef. Now, irregardless of who's funnier or not, I can't, as an older person, I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, what are you teaching the youth? At this point, where is your level of diplomacy? I don't like seeing guys past a certain age or people past a certain age doing the most to get the attention of kids.
Right. He bought tickets to his show just to.
Oh, that's
like.
wait. That was fucked up. That was fucked up. Oh,
why take that whole why go to that extent?
Right.
Like if you really don't care. Why go to that extent and purchase tickets?
No, I can't be mad.
That's kind of fun. It's kind of funny.
It's fucked up. It really is fucked up though. But I did laugh at that. I'm sorry. I had to.
What it really shows is he was scared that people would actually buy tickets and show up. So he had to make sure he bought them just to keep them empty.
I don't know,
Think
man.
about that.
The level of does 50 Cent have a bottom to his pettiness? This guy took a lawsuit for the Rick Ross tape.
Yeah, his pettiness is like a chasm.
I've never seen somebody who bro, he must have the illest bankruptcy lawyer all time. Because I've never seen somebody be able to file bankruptcy the way he is and still be signing all these deals and da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got the illest bankruptcy lawyer I've ever seen in my life. You know, and honestly, it sucks because there is an aspect of a shark that's inside of him that you need at a certain level of this business. Right. Because the higher you go up the chain, the less feelings are applicable.
Right.
It's all ones and zeros, dollars and digits at that point. You understand what I'm saying? So be prepared for that as well. We've seen, a perfect case in point, somebody we watched, which again, somebody who was irrelevant and grabbing coffees at the time, to becoming a top songwriter, to becoming the top artist, to being at the point where it's like that Dark Knight scene where they talk about you'll be the hero long enough to become the villain.
Right.
That's exactly what I watched Drake go through. Because nothing's changed. Drake's MO's been the same since day one. You just get to a point where it's like Tom Brady. You know, you can only be great long enough for people to be like, all right, that's it, turn it off, that's enough, all right, we had enough. Like, why does society try to determine the end to your greatness?
Right.
This shit's weird to me, especially in this society. So when you reach that level, understand that you already seen examples of how people can become jaded. You know, Drake's... I can't be in his head. I can't be in his life. But I can tell you from the things that he responds to, and a lot of these celebrities today respond to, they might have the money, they might have the shows, they might have got the accolades, but they're not happy.
Right.
These people are miserable. And it should be sobering to the youth to see that, because that should make you reevaluate.
There's so much that goes on that people don't know about, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this bag.
Right.
But what comes with the bag?
Right.
More money, more problems is a real statement. You understand what I'm saying?
He was lying, right?
My life has not gotten easier. Listen, I thought my life was easier when I was at the bottom on the street level, hustling and doing my thing.
Well, because my expectations are lower.
They was way lower.
You know,
my life is so much harder now. I'm in the public. I build with so many different people from different backgrounds. I'm doing things, and I'm almost always expected to say the right thing. And I have to remind everyone that I deal with, I'm a human being.
Right.
I can be hypocritical. I can be moody. I can mess up. I can say the wrong thing. That shouldn't change how we operate with each other. You should just see my humanity and I see your humanity.
Right.
So it's okay to have your ebbs and flows, but never, never, never let your ebbs make you forget the smell of roses. Never, ever let yesterday make you not appreciate, well, yesterday sucked, but at least I woke up today.
Right.
Let's start there. You know what I'm saying?
Good stuff.
And leave yesterday and yesterday sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave it there. And leave people that, don't. It's one of the things I did today on the show. We was talking about optimism, and optimism to me is a leap of faith for yourself, though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, for me, there's a theory about the glass half full, half empty.
It's just a
See, I think outside the
in it.
I think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? If the glass is half full, half empty, or fucking empty altogether, I'm going to the sink and filling it up.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, why
What
does
are you
it have to
talking
be
about?
Still got a
half
glass.
empty?
You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be half anything.
Right.
I can fill this shit up to the brim. You know what I'm saying? I can overflow with the cup if I want to. You know what I'm saying? So it's about your perception. We get locked into some. We were talking about this before. How people get locked into poor concepts and poor mentalities, and then these poor models start building themselves, and then you only hear these things in the poor community. But when you look at rich families, nepotism is working for them.
Right.
They do family with business and etc. The idea of I'm doing this, right? Now, if none of my kids want to pick up the torch, if I get it to a certain level and our names are the marquee on buildings and whatever, and my kids don't want to pick it up, then I would have to do the thing to, make sure I have the board set up, the trust funds are set up, da-da-da-da. But when I started my business is to hand down to my family.
Right.
Why would it be anything else?
Next
Exactly.
generation.
I get it. You understand what I'm saying? But I realize that there's a disconnect of people having emotion for the super wealthy sometimes. They only want to see them as greedy, but these people had to work to a certain point to get to where they are. Now, yes, there are some of them that are straight up like real life Lex Luthors and don't want to,
Right.
like Jeff Bezos doesn't give a shit about nobody. Like, okay, cool.
You know why?
But-
wait, I gotta stop there. The reason why Jeff doesn't care, Jeff had to go through a lot.
Oh, yeah, he did,
Jeff
but-
was not a pretty dude. Okay,
damn.
he done been through some things. I'm gonna need y'all to leave Jeff alone.
No, but Jeff but Jeff is real life Lex Luthor, dog. Like, you look at a picture from the 90s and after he got the check, this nigga got little muscles. He been on his P90X, you know what I'm saying? He got the baldy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that dude's straight up Lex Luthor. Yeah. But that's not to say just because one guy avoided taxes or another guy is the billionaire president and he's playing games or all this other stuff, that's not to say everybody. I mean, Bill and Melinda Gates do a lot of work. But are they obligated to give you back everything that they worked hard to make?
Right.
That's
Absolutely
irresponsible and
Right.
that's irresponsible and unrealistic.
Absolutely.
If this is the system that we're built on of capitalism. If we were built on another system, then I would totally be for all the other stuff but that they're saying. But right now, they're not given the same luxury that we're trying to give each other, and we're not sitting down thinking how hard is it that when you make money, now everybody wants your money.
Right.
But you didn't do shit. How is my ambition going to be disregarded if you become, because listen, your dreams are big and I want you to reach your dreams and I believe that you will. And when you do, right,
Thank you.
somebody wants to take all your money from you.
Yeah.
The shit that you're going to work hard for.
Right.
Now, I might have a different perspective as a Black American or African American in this country because it's like we never had shit. So now that we're starting to get shit, Black wealth is starting to boom. You're not going to come around talking about taking that shit from us because we're starting to get into a different bracket because other people have fucking benefited from the bracket this entire time.
Right.
So
There's still
From the
old
beginning.
cotton money out
Right.
here.
So now this brings up something for me: is reparations talk dangerous or needed? Because it's starting to, if people think that a boat's gonna come and
Neither.
save them,
Patronizing.
Right.
well, why so?
They don't have you shouldn't talk about things if you don't have a logistical plan to implement it.
We do that all the time, though.
But we shouldn't. I didn't say we don't. I said we shouldn't.
But that's where it starts,
And
right?
that's the problem, that we won't break that fucking shitty habit of talking about things without having things established.
But isn't that where it starts, though? It's first saying, all right, this is the end goal that I want.
Yeah.
And then you start to reverse
Well, this
engineer
isn't, but that's the thing. We're young. This conversation been going on forever. Nobody wrote down a fucking plan on a napkin or something. Like, reparations have been talking about since the 40 acres and the mule, bro.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like, just people, and then the problem is Black people let it go. So now we have people that don't look like us talking about how they want to give reparations, and we're looking around like, what the fuck are you talking?
Right.
Am I against it? Absolutely not. I have the last name of a slave. I went
Likewise.
to the plantation, okay? Yep. I went to the plantation. It's actually called Walker Manor now instead of plantation in Virginia, in Newport News. I seen where my family was held. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I walked
wild.
the streets where they have nice bike paths built, but this is where slaves were buried. They're running and jogging over the bodies of my ancestors.
Right.
So I understand. Like, yes, I would love to get some reward out of that, but I'm not waiting for it. Again,
Right.
we've
That's what
been
I
patronized
would say.
too long. You know, what do you think they've been doing with the welfare system? That shit is to keep people marginalized, because it doesn't make any sense that after you receive welfare benefits, you can only make a certain amount, and then once you get there, everything gets cut off.
Yep.
But then there's a bracket between you
Right.
and that. And like
And
my
you
wife, for
can't get
example, we make modest amount of money, but we're not well off. But we can't get assistance for shit. Now, when I was a kid, I never had to worry about nothing.
Right.
But we were poor. But I didn't have to worry about eating.
Right.
We had fuel assistance. We had Section 8.
Right, you got that.
But I couldn't get above a certain level in life. So yeah, you're gonna be straight. You'll be good in your hut. But you're never gonna be up here though.
Right.
Because people think that getting on this shit is them playing the system when it's them playing themselves. It's transitional assistance. You're supposed to transition. You're not supposed to be Generation 4 teaching your kid how to get Section 8, go to a shelter and all of that shit. That's just trash, bro. We got to get up.
Here's the thing, though, when it comes to the transitional assistance, it seems like the first part of that is a lie, because the transition is so difficult to make happen. Like you said, you get to a certain level, you get cut off, but then you have people out here that are, either working under the table, doing things illegally to make money, because they're like, okay, I need to make sure I have enough to fill that gap for when I actually get off of this.
Yeah.
But then you end up arresting them, taking away their water cooler because they're selling water in the park, stopping them from selling dinners
seen
out,
the
out their
fucking-
house because they don't have a safe serve and shit. Like,
Yeah.
The black kid they locked up for selling lemonade was like, are you guys kidding me, man? Like,
Yeah.
you got to stop. Like somebody has to stop the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because like, again, something happened. All right. So when I was able to wake up and look at myself as a survivor, automatically I started looking around people and I said, okay, in order to stay a survivor, I cannot take on any more of this victimhood shit. I can't take it on. Now I lose more friends in this day and age because I can test people on this shit. Like, people can tell me over and over and over, no matter what groups they come from, what the issues are. What are your solutions? Then I always ask everybody. Let me just use this as an example. Everybody who doesn't like the Trumpers, what do you do with those people then?
Yeah.
What per se do you do?
They're still part of the
What is your end game?
Right.
Because nowhere in there it's all anger, and nowhere in there is it rehabilitation.
Right.
You're literally going to create an oppressive system that's going to breed. If you are treating their parents this way, then it's just like the terrorism mission. Every time we drop a drone bomb over there and we killed someone's dad
Now
that didn't need to
you
die,
create the next
their
generation.
children are
Right.
becoming the next generation.
Right.
They want to avenge their parents.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And they don't know anything else. These people are victims of their own ignorance. In all regards, I was a victim of my own ignorance because I was being raised to not operate or deal with white people at all.
Right.
But that's not conducive to how my life is lived today. My wife is biracial. Like,
Right.
I would have never met the love of my life if I operated by them rules.
Right.
You know what's crazy? My wife is melanated. You've seen my wife. She's brown, right? But people in my neighborhood literally refer to her as the white girl. Just by knowing she was white. I literally almost got into fist fights a couple of times. Just before we was married or whatever.
It's
I was like,
crazy.
bro, what? Because
Right.
she's proper? Because she's,
Yeah,
what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bro, my vocabulary's popping. Like, that don't mean I'm...
And that's why I always try to figure, like, why is black synonymous with ignorance or lack of knowledge?
I don't know what the
Lack
hell
of
that is.
education,
Yeah, like,
you
I
know?
don't understand that. Like, you
that's
speak
what
well.
they're really saying. Like,
Right.
oh,
Speak well. Well, it's just
you
like...
sound a little too educated for what you look like.
I get that a lot because, like, for what it is, like I had this issue recording today. Like, I was recording before I came here, and like there was certain like words that I couldn't say. Like, they didn't sound well because like my vocabulary and the way I pronounce words, like it was like a ER word, and I was saying
Yeah.
and he was like, no, say and I was like, I couldn't do it because
Yeah, it's like, huh?
So it's like he's like, oh, you're sounding white right now. I was like, I'm sounding white.
White?
It's
Like, what does that mean?
He's like, I'm just speaking.
I'm just
I'm
speaking the way I
pronouncing
speak,
my words,
motherfucker. Like, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
enunciating
I'm like,
and pronouncing.
I hit Google,
Right.
you know, the little sound thing,
Right,
and this is how I said you say the word, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about? So it's you know what I mean?
Hamburglar. Like,
So again, there's so many different things that they're trying to get us to be divided. And reparations is flattering to talk about, but unless I see an actual plan in place, I'm not believing it. It's been fucking 60 something years. You know what I'm saying? That they've been talking about it off and on, and it hasn't happened.
yeah.
I'm more interested in Andrew Yang's plan of universal basic income. And most people be like, why are you against that? I mean, most people be like, why would you be for that? Because other people are going to benefit. No, that's the point. It destigmatizes shit. Even the rich person gets that $1,000 a month. But I'm sorry, I don't see nothing wrong with, as soon as you turn 18 in this country as a U.S. citizen being the key word, you get $1,000 a month.
Right.
That offsets some of the shit that we've seen with Bezos collecting billions of dollars and getting by. It's, some people say socialism, but I like the way Andrew Yang spins it. No, it's just capitalism that doesn't start at zero. Because we now have to change the paradigm. We can't start at zero anymore.
I think that's good.
You know what I mean? So I think it's actually a good thing. And it's funny because sadly, I don't think Andrew Yang's going to have a chance in hell because he's Asian in America and these motherfuckers.
Plus the views.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Sadly, I don't think he's going to make it, but the guy has great concepts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's trying to push for Bernie. I'm like, Bernie's too fucking old.
Yeah.
And there's been plenty of interviews that I can tell that he's pandering. He's at that point now where I think his mind's slipping a little bit and he's being handed these things. And it's not the same Bernie we had 4 years ago.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
like,
too much.
And I don't got nothing against Bernie. I just don't think he's the guy. And I don't think he's definitely not the guy to beat Trump right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they're trying to do all this opposite of Trump shit to win. And it's ridiculous. Look how many people are running.
Yeah, this is way too many.
So many.
This is exactly, listen,
62 candidates.
If they say Hillary lost because of Bernie's followers, and that was just one other person offsetting
Imagine
the balance,
having 19
what's going to happen with fucking 19,000 fucking
you're splitting
candidates?
That.
You understand what I'm saying?
You're splitting it at
But
a
again,
micro level.
my conversation always will be once we get, because I like to get to the point. People like to converse for conversation purposes now. Like, people perpetuate drama. They'll literally have a conversation and end the conversation without a solution so they can have that same conversation again because it just is feeding their drama bubble, right? I like to get to the solutions, right? And I still want to know what everybody plans on doing with the opposite side of people that don't. Fine, let's say you get everything you want, all the laws you want, everything you want, everything. You got it all. What are you doing with that population of people that's not happy?
Right.
I said yesterday, the best you can do in this world is build with unlike minds, come to an understanding where you can build bridges, and each party takes a side of a bridge. And you meet in the middle when you need to.
Right.
That's the best you can hope for with 7 billion plus people on the planet.
Right. Hey, we may not always agree. Once in a while we're gonna clash, but when we clash, we can still go back.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Agree, disagree, move on.
Right.
We have and this again, I try to tell people too, this is all relevant. Music, politics, science, sports, arts. It's the human experience. To separate them is naive. Because we use our music to push agendas. We use our television to push agendas.
Yeah.
We use our politics to push agendas. It's all agenda based. You know what I'm saying? It's all about whatever you're selling. You know what I'm saying? So all of this is relevant. You know what I'm saying? And it also, for an artist or anybody else, one thing I can tell you is that when I started, I didn't learn more about music or get better at branding or anything like that by just studying branding. It was by furthering my mind in other areas. It was finding correlations between things I couldn't before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just weird. Reading one-off books about random shit, and then this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, expansion is expansion.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Anytime you're broadening your bandwidth is good. Now you can pick and choose what you're going to put in there, but at least you're broadening your bandwidth.
Right. Exactly. Right.
So, with that being said, reparations is cool. I just would like to see a real action plan. Somebody told me to go buy a website, and I checked it out. The plan didn't sound very feasible. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the problem: they still don't care about niggas, so they didn't keep track of us when we all left.
Right.
So it's gonna be hard to distribute
because they was mad we were free.
I mean, it's just like right now you're dealing with the idea that certain people can go to college for free if you're a certain percentage of Native American or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, nobody kept track of that shit.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So again, I just don't see it being
If they
feasible.
did, there would be a lot of free tuition.
Well, facts,
That's what I'm saying.
exactly. Because a lot of black people, when we were escaping, the Native Americans were taking us in.
Right.
So a lot of us, when people was playing around like, oh, I'm Cherokee, I'm black, when we was laughing at niggas,
And
they really were.
Right. It's like, no cap.
No cap. So, while we're still on this topic in the politics area, so Robert Mueller dropped a report. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but Mueller's been doing a report on Trump the whole time. They've been investigating for fucking 2 years and basically almost 3 years now. And nothing really came of it, but there was some funny details because they finally put out the full report. And one thing that was funny that they've been talking about for the longest time was a little footnote that was in the notes. And they're discussing now whether or not there is feasibility behind there's an alleged Trump P-tape.
Oh man.
R. Kelly style in Russia.
Oh,
he's on his
man.
cow shit.
Yeah,
So
that's why he was messing with Putin so hard. Body Putin was like, yo, I got something on you.
I can't. I think it's so funny, man. Like, I'm sorry. I think it's fucking hilarious that a president, like, have we? I wonder if this energy is going to be the same for the next president. I think that we've changed shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that people think that once Trump's gone, we're going to change this shit. No, I think that we've trained ourselves. We trained ourselves to be disrespectful to our commanders and chiefs, and it's going to get dicey moving forward.
It's a new precedent set that it's okay to do certain things to the president, say certain things about the president.
Right.
Because people have been so outwardly vocal. And what happens in politics is you have one side going, oh, well, when it was our side, you guys didn't do the same thing. So now that it's our time and we're going to do those things to you. And it's tit for tat the whole way up. And no president can get a fair shot from now on. It's just getting harsher every
Here's my
election.
thing. Again, the social media was something that was like taken over by the kids, the youth, and fucking adults and old people took it. They stole it from you guys, and now they're turning the world into a whole bunch of old ass agendas and shit.
Right.
And none of this shit is future driven to me. It's all old people, old money with old fucking goals and agendas. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like Trump. But you're training these kids to deal with discourse differently.
Well,
our debates, our last election cycle, our debates was the worst debates I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not that old, but I've seen a few. It was the worst. It was literally a reality TV series. I literally was tuning in to hear who was going to talk shit, not who was going to bring up the best policy or da-da-da-da. And it's crazy because when I hear people talking about beating Trump, I hear people, when did it become acceptable with this concept of if you can't beat him, join him? Because that's what I'm seeing. I see that people that don't like this guy are becoming this guy. I'm not a fan of this guy either, but I'm not to the point where I'm going to be around kids or the youth and making them talk or teaching them the wrong way to respond to shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's no decorum. You know what I'm saying? Now, the excuse I usually get is he doesn't show it. When have we ever been about
you can't
stooping?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody be walking around with Michelle Obama's saying like, when they go low, we go high. No, nigga, when they go low,
they're really going lower.
Yeah, when they go low, you're going lower.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's not gonna get us nowhere as a society. That's not.
It's a race to the bottom.
So again, you can agree to disagree with people. As long as no one wants to harm me, I really don't give a shit what you feel. If you do want to harm me, I'm also for that smoke. So that's not an issue. You know what I'm saying? We all should always have that in us, that we're ready for that smoke. If someone wants to harm you, that's self-preservation. But if you're just having an opinion, like, yeah, I don't like your opinion, as long as you're not passing laws or nothing like that, then I'm not really worried about Joe Schmo's opinions. Now, we are getting a little dicey with some laws out here, and this is when people have a credible, anybody who's being marginalized, have credible arguments when Texas is passing the crazy laws that they're passing. Texas just passed a law that doctors have the choice of whether or not they want to treat you based on your orientation. I think that's completely wrong.
Right.
Completely wrong. And that's what's, but
maybe you don't deserve to live today.
But our tribalism has reached the point where what else did people expect? If you're answering hate with hate, you're gonna make people draw more lines in the sand. If we had approached people with, listen, maybe you just got a different perspective, get to know me. You know how we got all around the world, everywhere? We went in and we got to know each other's cultures. And then when you go to another kingdom, you might not practice nothing that they're about. But you do it because it's customary.
Right. While you're there.
It's respectful. You understand what I'm saying? Great example. There's a black guy, I forgot his name, that he was going around and he basically goes around and like befriends KKK people.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot the gentleman. You know what I'm talking about.
But they based Uncle Ruckus off of
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But the interesting part is,
go ahead.
What's his name?
Molly from BBC?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. And there's another guy too. And then I know Kamal Bell did it a couple of times. So they go around and they talk to these people, and it's like, if you actually sit down and listen to these people, it's the same thing that I have an issue with the hood mentality is the same issue with their hood mentality, their KKK hood mentality. It's isolation.
The hood mentality.
The hood mentality is black and white.
Play on that.
The hood mentality is black and white. We wear hoodies, they wear white hoods, whatever. But it's the same ignorance. It's the same mechanism. It's isolation. It's negative reinforcement of fears, and then it's just not accepting reality. Because the reality is that this country's more mixed than it's ever been.
Right.
It's not going to stop. So we have to embrace each other.
Right.
There is no black-white divide. There is no, racism is a construct made up by people. And I always tell people, as smart as everybody wants to say you are, right, including myself, as smart as we want to say we are, how are we that intelligent as a species? Why? Because we can play with our fucking phones, but we're still in the Crayola box. There is a scientific reason why people are colored differently. And it's just the fucking weather. Thank you for watching the Dinner Club Podcast. If you want to stay up to date with our new content and episodes, please like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.